Good morning, students. This is part 2 of the video series on cell structure and function. And in this video, we will be covering the Golgi body, the vacuole, and the lysosomes. In the previous video, we covered the endoplasmic reticulum or ER. And this was like the factory of proteins. We also covered the nucleus, which was like the control center. So now we will be covering the Golgi body, which is this full structure in yellow. And the Golgi body is like a warehouse. In the warehouse, what happens? Firstly, storage happens. Secondly, modification happens. And thirdly, shipping happens. So these are actually the three main functions for the Golgi body, and mostly what happens in the storage, modification and shipping, it is actually that of proteins. So now look carefully at the structure of the Golgi body. You can see that it is composed of many stacks, and these stacks are called cisternae. These stacks, unlike the ER, are actually not joined together. They are actually separate from each other. And to the left, I have drawn the cis face. The cis face is like the receiving face. And the receiving face, as we slowly go to the right, we get to the trans face. The trans face is the opposite of receiving, so it is the shipping face. So what happens in the Golgi body? From the ER, the proteins that are destined for membranes and extracellular proteins come in the vesicles and they join together with the cis phase. So many such vesicles are coming in the cis phase. So after that is done, two important things happen to the protein. So the first one is protein modification. So how are the proteins modified? Actually, a protein is like this. Two important modifications happen. The first modification is that usually glycosidic groups are added. Glycosidic groups are sugar molecules. So when these sugar molecules are added to the proteins, usually extracellular proteins are rich in sugar molecules because these serve as identification tags. The identification tags help the protein in the function. So this sugar molecule is added to the protein in the Golgi apparatus. The second thing is that the protein is tagged to a destination. So let's say that this protein has to go to a membrane. The protein will actually be tagged like a zip tag to the membrane. So the cell knows where to take this protein vesicle to. So for example, if this vesicle has the protein that is tagged to the membrane, that means that this vesicle will go to the membrane. And similarly for other organs of the cell. So this is the protein modification. The second thing that can happen actually is lipid modification. So we know that lipids like phospholipids are made in the smooth ER. The phospholipid looks like this. It has two hydrophobic tails and it has a phosphate group head. And actually on top of the phosphate group head is a small polar group. So this polar group can be added to the phospholipid in the Golgi apparatus. So this is how lipids can also be modified. In a similar way, steroids are modified. So we can conclude that in a cell which is specialized for excretion of hormones for example, or excretion of digestive enzymes, they will be rich in the Golgi apparatus. And we can see this because in gland cells of the stomach, they need to secrete enzymes for digestion. They are very rich in Golgi apparatus. So now we must look at how the Golgi apparatus will work. So once a vesicle comes to the cis phase of the Golgi apparatus, right now scientists are still finding out that each of these stacks, we call them, each of these stacks of cisternae, they slowly move from left to right in the Golgi apparatus. So the cisterna that was once here, it will move to the right and it will go from the cis phase to the trans phase. We call this the maturation of the cisterna. So once a cisterna has matured and it has gone to the trans phase, it will bud off to form a vesicle. So the vesicle has multiple functions. The first function is that it must firstly contain the enzymes that were used in the Golgi body, and these enzymes must remain in the Golgi body. So what will happen is these vesicles will go back to the cis phase. So this is a process that essentially recycles the enzymes so that the cell does not continually have to produce new enzymes for the Golgi body. And this is called the cisternal maturation model. So this model allows the cisternae to move from left to right, as well as prevents the need for the cell to create new enzymes for the Golgi body, because these enzymes are constantly being recycled. So now we must also look at the protein product, students. So the first protein product is the protein product that is moving to the edge of the cell. So this vesicle is now tagged to the edge of the cell, and I have drawn in orange. These vesicles all contain proteins. So the top two proteins are inside the vesicle, and they will go out and they will be exocytosed from the cell by a process called exocytosis. And now these proteins are all come out of the cell and they can execute its function outside the cell. The second type of protein is the membrane protein. The membrane protein can go to the membrane and it will embed itself inside the membrane to carry out its function. So now students, that was the Golgi body. And now the Golgi body has two other important functions. Firstly, it is the function of the lysosome, and secondly, it is the function of the vacuole. So the lysosome here I have colored in red. This is the lysosome. And the vacuole I have colored in pink. This is the vacuole. So first let us look at the lysosome. So the lysosome is one of these vesicles that have bud off from the Golgi body. And the important characteristic of the lysosome is that it contains little enzymes called hydrolytic enzymes. These enzymes function in the digestion of food products that have gone into the cell. So this has two important applications. First is in phagocytosis. In phagocytosis, for example in our white blood cells or in the amoeba, a food has gone inside the cell and it is now enclosed in a vesicle. For the digestion of this food, the vesicle must now fuse with this red color lysosome, and the lysosome has gone together with the vesicle and it has fused, and now these hydrolytic enzymes, they are very potent and it will digest all the food inside, and this food will come out of the lysosome and the lysosome can be recycled for its function. The second function of the lysosome is in a process called autophagy. In this autophagy, what happens to the lysosome is that it is used to kill old organs. So this is an old organelle, old mitochondria, and this is a new mitochondria. The lysosome wants to go kill the old mitochondria so the cell can reuse its raw materials to create more new mitochondria. So what will happen is the lysosome will go into the old mitochondria, it will fuse with the mitochondria, it will digest, and now you will get a huge lysosome with all the digested products. And these digested products will now diffuse outside the lysosome, and then the lysosome can be recycled for its function. Now students, two important characteristics of the lysosome is that it is acidic and it is degradation resistant. So it must be acidic because the enzymes that are inside the lysosome function optimally at a acidic pH. So that means the pH must be lesser than 7. The second thing is that the lysosome enzymes must be degradation resistant. Only when it is degradation resistant will the enzymes not digest the lysosome itself. So because the membrane proteins here and as well as the proteins itself are degradation resistant, it will not get digested itself and it will only digest other food products. So now finally, the last product of the Golgi apparatus is the vacuole. So you may have heard of vacuoles before, and this is kind of like a cupboard of the cell. So this cupboard functions in storage. So it can either store food, like in this food vacuole. Over here this is a contractile vacuole. It stores water. And finally, in the plant's large central vacuole, it stores mainly ions, as well as food, as well as water. So now let's go through each of these. In the animals, the vacuoles are very small, so they arise from lysosomes. So when the lysosome has digested many food products, it will accumulate the food inside this vesicle. And therefore it will become a food vacuole because it is storing the food. In protists, like for example the amoeba, what will happen is the vacuoles contain water and its purpose is to expel water from the cell. The reason is the amoeba needs to maintain a certain salt concentration. To maintain this salt concentration, it constantly needs to pump out water from the cell. Otherwise, the water will come in by osmosis. So, protists constantly need to use their energy to expel the water from the cell. And this is the function of a contractile vacuole. It expels the water by contracting. And the last vacuole is in the plants. So, the plants have a large central vacuole. And this large central vacuole is actually made in plants by many small vacuoles coming together to form the large central vacuole. So this vacuole is present in adult plant cells. And its main function is to store ions, food and water, but it has another function which is to easily grow the plant cell in size. So what the plant cell can do is it can absorb water from the surroundings, and this water will now travel inside the vacuole and it will grow bigger in size. So now the cell has an internal pressure and this forces itself to become bigger in size. So this is an easy, inexpensive way for the plant cell to become bigger in size, and this uses very little energy. Okay students, that was the Golgi apparatus. I hope you liked this video. If you liked it, please press the like button and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.